Pursuant to General Rule 16, the court will allow video photography will ask the photographer pursuant to that rule to limit the photography to the person in front of the court only. So in other words, photography of anybody else in the courtroom is not allowed, only the person of whom you are interested.
Thank you.
Okay. And this is the case, State of Washington versus Trang Lee, 18-1-54534. Ms. Lee, good morning.
Hi, Your Honor.
Ms. Lee, you have certain constitutional rights.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm Trang. I'm the administrator for Trang Lee.
Pardon me?
I am the administrator for Trang Lee. For the defendant.
Ms. Lee, you have certain constitutional rights. Everyone in the courtroom who is here for an arraignment has constitutional rights. You are presumed to be innocent. That presumption continues unless, not until, like you hear on TV, a person is presumed to be innocent unless the government can prove each and every element of each and every crime beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to be represented by a lawyer. I'm standing up so I can see you. You have the right to be represented by a lawyer. If you cannot afford a lawyer, the court, meaning me, will appoint a lawyer to represent you. You have the right to a speedy and public trial. You have the right to go to trial, of course, and if you go to trial, you have the right to have your witness cross-examine any witnesses that testify against you. You have the right at trial to have witnesses come in and testify for you at no cost to you. You have the right to testify on your own behalf if you choose. That is your decision alone. Most importantly, in my opinion anyway, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You cannot be forced to testify against yourself. And if you decide to go to trial, if you were to be convicted, you have the right to appeal any conviction to a higher court. Thank you. Ms. Lee, do you intend to hire an attorney, or are you asking the court to appoint a lawyer on your behalf?
Your Honor, once again, I'm Trang. And for the attorney, I can have an attorney as my co-counsel.
I don't understand what that means.
That means the attorney can help me, but not represent me.
Are you asking me to appoint an attorney to represent you?
No, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Do you intend on representing yourself?
If that's the case, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. The court will allow Ms. Lee to represent herself. Mr. Grant.
Your Honor, I'll serve Ms. Lee a copy of the information.
Thank you. Ms. Lee, you have been served with a copy of the information. Mr. Graham, give me a moment so I can pull up the case, please. Thank you. Ms. Lee, you are charged by information with one count of unlawful manufacture of a controlled substance, marijuana, while armed with a firearm. The state alleges that the defendant, Trang Lee, as a principal or as an accomplice in the state of Washington on or about and between January 1, 2018 and March 15, 2018, did knowingly manufacture marijuana, a controlled substance. It is further alleged that during the commission of this offense, the defendant or an accomplice was armed with a firearm. In count 2, the state alleges unlawful possession of a controlled substance, marijuana, with intent to deliver while armed with a firearm. The state alleges that the defendant, Trang Lee, as a principal or as an accomplice in the state of Washington on or about between March 15, 2018, did unlawfully possess a controlled substance, marijuana, with intent to deliver. It is further alleged that during the commission of this offense, the defendant was an accomplice was armed with a weapon. The record will reflect that Ms. Lee has been served with a copy of the information. The court will enter pleas of not guilty.
Your Honor, I looked at the contract and I wanted to ask you, are these charges for the defendants or for myself, Trang?
The court will, are you Trang?
I am Trang.
Those are for
I am
you.
the administrator of Trang Mining.
Those are for you. The court will enter pleas of not guilty. On behalf of the defendant, the court will set future court dates. I'll sign an order
Your
to
Honor.
that effect. Also, Mr. Graham, what
Your Honor.
conditions of release does the state recommend? One moment, please.
We do not have an understanding, therefore I am not obligated to plead.
Okay. Mr. Graham?
Your Honor, I believe the court has considered the appropriate plea in light of Ms. Lee's comments. The state is not opposed, as we summoned her in, not opposed to her PR release. In the nature of the allegations, however, we would be asking that she be on pretrial services supervision for checking purposes only, that she be arranged to be fingerprinted over the Thurston County jail, for lack of a better phrase, that she not have any contact with any of the co-defendants that she's obviously got notice of, other than Trung Dong. I believe there's been some conversations with Ms. Stone that Ms. Lee and Mr. Lenin or Dong reside together, and we're not opposed to that continuing, and I'll just defer to Ms. Stone's judgment in regards to that, but she should not be having any contact with the other co-defendants in this case. Michael Hune, Matthew Tran, Ken Liu, or David Lee. That we set her case initially on our 90-day calendar track with omnibus May 31st, status for June 20th, and trial on June 25th. That coincides with the co-defendants that are already charged in this case.
Thank you. And do you wish to be heard on conditions of release?
Your Honor, do I have the right to choose my own counsel?
Yes.
Yes. Well, Your Honor, if I have the right to choose my own counsel, that wouldn't be you, Judge Dixon, or you, prosecutor, so you cannot represent I to please anything.
Okay, thank you. The court will adopt the state's conditions of release. I'll sign an order to that effect. I will also sign an order establishing future court dates. Ms. Lee need not sign those. The record will reflect that I will sign those in her presence if she chooses not to sign.
I'm choosing not to sign.
Thank
And you cannot sign for me. I do not consent that.
Your Honor, I'm simply putting refuse to sign with Ms. Lee present, as I'm doing so on the defendant line for both the future court dates as well as the conditions of release.
Okay.
The court was also ordering Ms. Lee to be administratively booked, correct, Your Honor?
Correct. Mr. Strophe, do you have a matter?
I do, Your Honor, but for one of these instances for some.
No. I'm the judge. I'm calling the
Your Honor,
Yes.
I would like to also mention I want to motion for dismissal for the lack of purpose, for the lack of proper service.
Okay, thank you. Motion denied. Mr. Strophe, do you have a matter?
Do you have any proof of claim for, like, when you send the defendant the summoning notice?
This case is over. Thank you. This hearing is over. Thank you.
Your Honor, I just ask the record reflect that I'm